What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Eckl, and today's topic is determinism. So, as a short explanation, determinism means that everything that will happen in the future is already set, and you can change anything. You can also call it fate, and that everything will just happen how it has to happen. So, to make it really simple, that actually means that you have no choice whether or not you choose A or B, which sounds kind of crazy, but is that true? I mean, if you think about it, like everything that you will ever do is already set. You can't change anything. So it's all not what you do. Like, why do I want to believe in something like that? So whether or not we want to believe in it, I think we should just look at how do we actually make choices. I think there are three very important things we use to make our decisions: knowledge, experiences, and our genes. So, our knowledge, of course, if we know, for example, that fire is quite hot, we won't touch it. Experiences kind of go along with the knowledge. So, but this means more like fear and everything we experience. Like, we don't really know it, but in our subconscious mind and so on, it's just programmed that we, for example, fear dogs or whatever, depending on what experiences, for example, we made in our childhood. And of course, our genes. So if you're, for example, naturally more shy person, you probably won't decide to hold a public speak. I personally believe in determinism, and I think it just has many benefits. So to explain this to you, I just want to leave out knowledge in the beginning, because you will see why. So we just want to focus on experiences and genes. I actually never heard about determinism until like some years ago, but even before that, I already had this kind of theory in my mind. I don't know why, but I was just thinking like, okay, I think we all agree that when you are born, so this is your birth, when you're born, you have actually no influence on who you are. You have no influence on your genes. You can't decide where you are born, how you look, whatever. So all of this is chosen for you. So, and now I think this is the point where it gets so interesting, because at your birth, you had no choice. But then, the only thing that will shape you or will change you is the experiences you make. So, for example, to just keep this in a model, so there's experience 1, experience 2, and so on and so on. And we just keep on making experiences. Our genes are here set. I know that it's probably possible to change your genes during your life, but this actually doesn't change anything here. So just in the beginning, your genes are set. So we could even say that your genes development is finished here, but even if we don't see it like that, this won't affect the model. So we got our genes here and how we look in our environment. And now, depending on our environment, we are making experiences. And for example, our mom smiles at us, which is probably the first thing that we will experience. And then we just get a closer connection with her. And then we trust her more. She gives us food and so on and so on. And we trust her, and that just builds a very tight connection. But nothing of that was our decision, because the fact that our mom smiled at us was just something that happened in the environment, and that we then feel the stronger connection towards her is just naturally a human thing. And if you then see everything that's happening to a young child like this, that actually means that everything it believes and thinks and so on only depends on its environment, which is very interesting, I think. So to sum it up, our genes are set here. The experiences we make are only based on the environment, which are also not our choice. And now the knowledge. The knowledge is actually a result of these two things, I think, because, for example, if you're just over and over getting told that you're a smart guy and so on, you will take on more challenges, you will actually grow smarter and so on, and you will probably get a better education. And it's always those small things that can have a major impact on how we live our life in the future. So whether or not you agree with me on this part, I just want to share with you now why I love to believe in determinism. Because when I just realized this theory for myself, I didn't want to believe it. And I think it's quite naturally because if you just know or if you believe that every action you take is actually not a choice of yourself, but just conditioned by your environment and where you were born and how you were born and who your parents were and so on, that just feels so strange, like you have no control over your life. But before I get to the benefits, the big danger here is, of course, that you just sit back and be like, oh, whatever I'm doing wrong or everything that's going bad in my life, it's not my responsibility, it's not my fault. Well, that is a attitude you should really avoid, because we all know if we just sit back and be like, oh, I can't change anything, things are getting worse. But there are two benefits that are just so amazing to me. And the first one is you will never ever get angry or mad or whatever, any kind of negative emotion towards someone else. Why? It's not their fault. And also there you have to watch out that you don't tell this some kind of people, because when I told this someone else, they just stopped caring and be like, yo, so if I do this to you, you're not mad because I can do anything and it's not my choice and it's not my fault. So there you have to care. And the second benefit is no matter what you achieve, you will always stay humble. Why? Because you're not into your ego, like, oh my God, I'm so great, I did that and I did this. No, you just realize that it was, yeah, you decided to do it and so on. But if you know that all of your decisions are only based on your genes and your experiences, so depending on your environment and so on, you're just so grateful. So I mean, I'm born in Germany. Probably quite smart, and so on. So I just really wanted the lottery of life. Like, I mean, it's almost impossible to become a human being, and then I'm born in a state where there is peace, and I'm not poor, and so on. Like, it's just crazy. And if you just realize that, then you will become so grateful. And if you achieve anything, it's not about like, oh my God, look at me, I'm so fucking great. But it's more like, thanks to whoever did this. Thank you so much that I got in the position to actually do this. And this is also a very amazing thing if you struggle with getting motivated for anything. If you struggle with getting motivated to learn for school, if you just realize how amazing your life is just by being a human being, to be born probably in a good country. I mean, you have internet connection and so on. Like, your possibilities are limitless. It's crazy. And yeah, these are the two benefits, and this is why I just love this theory so much. I wouldn't even say that I'm 100% sure that this is true, but the fun fact is, it doesn't even matter. Like, who cares? It will always be the case that if you do more, you will achieve more. So, this theory will not slow down my motivation or anything, because it actually just increases it, because I stop thinking like, oh my god, everything I achieve, I'm so great. It's just like, damn, like, I am just so lucky to be who I am, to be born where I was born, and so on, that I just want to realize that potential and so on. And this is something I love you to realize, because it's so amazing. And so it doesn't really matter if this is true or not. Everybody can believe in it, or you don't. Doesn't matter. But if you just take on this perspective, it just changes your way you look at the world, and can help you very, very, very much. And I'll thank you so much for watching, even though it wasn't your decision. But really, every view here means a lot to me. I do not care about the numbers too much. I'm just happy with doing what I do. I'm grateful for being able to do what I do. And if any one of you would leave a comment, would be amazing to me. If you just give this video a like, would be great. And if you just watched it, that's amazing, and you can share it, and I don't care. I just want you to be happy, have a beautiful day, and I hope we will see you again.